Now, a couple of things that I want to mention before we get there is that you can definitely do a lot of automation as far as volume rights, but I'm going to show you a technique that you can use that will make your static mix feel a little bit more organic or make it more of a movement. And one of the plugins that I like to use for that is the linear multiband from Waves, and I'll show you how to use that. So we have pretty much our mix the way that we like it. And a couple of things too, just check the mix as you're making progress on headphones, earbuds, multiple speakers. I have the small like Beats pill, and I have that plugged into my system. So I hit a button and then I can hear it in mono on that speaker, and I can kind of hear what it's going to sound like on a consumer level speaker. So let's talk about the mix bus. This entire time we've been monitoring through this channel right here called Mix, but there's been nothing on it. And in fact, we've just been kind of just watching the meters for the most part. But now if we want to process the entire track through the mix bus, we can do that. Now this is not mastering. Mastering is really a whole separate process, and I'll probably have to do another video on that alone. But there are things that you can do inside of your mix on the mix bus that can help glue your track together and give it more impact and shape. So let's play it from this section. I'm going to turn down the monitor volume down on my system, and then we'll make some decisions. Okay, so I like the overall tone. However, I do want to make some corrections. And for that, I'm going to insert as the first plugin, the Brainworks BX Digital V2, because it allows me to EQ the mid channel separate from the side channel. And the mid channel is going to have all our, kick, snare, and bass, and the synth. And then the side channel is going to have everything that's spread into the stereo. So I'm going to solo the mid and then listen for frequencies. I'm going to sweep this with the auto listen on, and I'll turn it off, and then we'll find what we can remove to make the sound better or to make it sound more impactful. Here we go. Okay, cool. So let me explain a little bit of what I did. Using the auto listen, I was sweeping the frequencies, and I found that around 26 to maybe even 29, let's make this 29. I want to remove everything below 29. Even though I have a subwoofer, I can hear that everything below 29 is just going to be mud and low end. So I'm going to remove that. The other thing that I found was right here, 340. It was like too much buildup. So I removed that by a dB and a half. Cool. Right here, just gave it a little presence boost at 3.4, which is pretty much going to be the click on the kick and also the claps and the snare. So again, just ever so slightly right there at 0.6. Then we soloed our side channel, and then I removed all the low end information using a shelf. So it's nice and gentle curve right there below 155 because we don't need that. And then there was a little bit of buildup here around 880. So we removed that. And then lastly, we made this a little bit wider at 110. So that's what you should be listening for.